This actually become a convent.
These women want to know more about who they are, and as well as helping the living, they want to know more about the dead. They were all born or spent their earliest years at what was Ireland's biggest mother and baby home in the southern city of Cork. It was a place where pregnant women who weren't married were forced to go and then separated from their newborns. And in this wasteland, which used to be part of the home, they're taking the first steps to discover whether the nuns buried babies who didn't survive, unmarked and forgotten.
Very often mothers were encouraged to forget about a child that died. That's fine. It was a solution, it was a way out for them. Off they go, have a life.
And is that the reason why the church would have felt it appropriate to bury them in unmarked graves, do you think?
I think so.
Old graves leave a mark. Inside the grounds of Bessborough there are dents in the earth and round raised areas.
These are the particularly awful years in terms of death rates.
The records already show that hundreds of children died here, so they must be somewhere.
We have to hold people accountable for these crimes because there are mothers out there, there are siblings, there are grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins who do not know what happened to their loved ones.
Since it became clear that this could have been happening all over Ireland, the government has said it will hold an inquiry, but not even its terms have been set. It hardly looks full of urgency. There are many things you could say about the notional idea of perhaps hundreds of children's bodies being buried in the former grounds of a mother and baby home, but perhaps the most extraordinary is that the survivors of that home, all these women, are having to do the investigation themselves. There is absolutely nobody here from the authorities to help them. We went to try to speak to one of the remaining former nuns, Sister Sato. She still lives in Cork, and she was at Bessborough in the 1980s. She referred us to her lawyers, but in a separate phone conversation, she had this to say.
I don't know how many babies were buried there, but all I know is there are 2 crosses with the names on it. If other babies died, I don't know where they're buried. There may very well be, but I don't know.
Catherine, there I am. And there's my letters.
In 2002, however, Sister Sato was able to help Kathy find her medical history. She was born at Bessborough and immediately separated from her mother.
I'm your daughter.
Huh?
I'm your daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were eventually reunited after Kathy's mother had spent most of her adult life in a Catholic workhouse.
My adopted family asked about my mother. They told her she was dead. Her mother's dead. My mother wasn't dead. I hugged her in 2002 and said, "Hi, I'm back. I'm your daughter. And I love you."
The Catholic establishment here says all these things happened long ago, that the past isn't relevant to the present, but for these women, and many more like them, that's surely the biggest insult of all. Lawrence Lee, Al Jazeera, Southern Ireland.